So, I mean, there's definitely potential. It's just if what I'm looking at from TNC is a very fast-paced run at U-Draft.
Sure, yeah, and like as the panel started to talk about the Night Stalker pick, do you feel that this era can crush them pretty hard?
I think this was like the ace for me. This is the one thing they didn't have a great counter to the Morphling. Now this is a...
Myself in an all-random game, you know, where I would say I'll take this mid, but this is not, of course, the usual position at all. Something that I'm very, if any time, in all of the games I've ever casted.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of awful versus Kunkka, doesn't it? You're gonna get slammed, and you can't really trade right clicks as well. But I mean, maybe he can actually sustain because of the if he gets the early level 2 devour and stuff. I don't know. I feel like this is just an easy Kunkka win, but maybe I could just be wrong.
Yeah, well, we'll see how Car's able to deal with the harassment from Armel. And even with, you know, even sort of with the, I mean, I guess, I mean, what sort of skill build is he going to go for? Do you go sort of a different way because you're in this 1v1?
I'm not sure, to be honest. All I know is Armel is going to have every single asset in the lane unless they address. So, sure. Bottom lane, Cuckoo, looks like he's probably going to die.
They're going to get one. I mean, they might even have a chance of turning on the Zephyr a little bit. Gabby's going to have Holiness back up in a few seconds. Zephyr just using the last of his mana there to try and
see that I'm looking at the moment. Top, I mean, I like the top lane too, so I'm really looking at like 3 winning lanes for TNC at the moment, and they should be able to keep pressure up and look to run it to this Tim's top.
It gets a little too close. Mymon's just able to turn with the Fire Blast. Raven slides in with a waveform, and Tim's just a little out of position there, gets punished.
Down to like 200 HP, and they're just duking it out a little bit.
One more time, bring it in the torrent. And a couple of hits, that'll do it. Yeah, Armel's able to outplay and get that kill in the 1v1. And this tough lane for the Doom that we keep talking about is only going to get harder now, as that will give him the 6. He's going to get a clarity sent out. And at that point, it's you know, can't really return to this lane.
Oh man, 3k net worth already pretty much on this Kunkka. Treads up.
Doom, yeah, this Morphling, you know, Raven obviously needs time. The sort of early to mid fights are going to be so much stronger for TNC.
Again, out to the boat.
They're going to try and go for the 2 of them. Whitemon does come in with the TP, but again, the damage is lacking from GeekFam. They don't really have much at all to hit back with. Void slow onto Whitemon. He's underneath the tower though, will bloodlusted up as Armel backs away.
Who's going to buy the vessel though? I see KP has 1,000 gold as well. Either Armel or KP needs to buy the vessel this game. They're versus Wyvern and Morphling and Doom. Oh. I mean, I hope so.
What? He's queuing up. Oh, no. Yeah, wait, what did he pick up just now?
He just got phase boot. Regen, he's high HP strength hero, like Morphling, Wyvern. They'll get it, but yeah.
There we go, looking for a Doom opportunity. Just going to drop it straight down on Gabby. But he's tethered up. He's moving back under the tower. TPs are coming in. And here's the X-Lock from Armel. He's ready to turn it up. Looks to try and bring Cade back down into the boat. Arrow follow up. The swap to the side. I mean, he's swapped himself into the arrow. So Cooper will fall. He's not, it wasn't even enough to take K, as both KP and Armel chase him out. KP even looking up towards Whitemon, doesn't have enough mana though for another void slow, but maybe not matter. He's just going over the right click. Whitemon turns, Tim's jumps forward. The spell's on you. Whitemon is going to go down as well. They lose 3 down here on the bottom lane, and it's not looking like a great highlight reel for the mid Doom so far this game.
No, definitely. I mean, you can't be the one that leads if you don't have the best swapping position, right? If you have a way to catch and keep him near you guys, when you do that, sure, and to break the tether, then you have an opportunity. But that was very overzealous, we'll say, you know, of when he can actually just join and show up to all of the fights with his team.
Yeah, moving him down bottom as well. Here was for Cuckoo, put some pressure onto this tier 1. See if TNC want to try and defend. Armel's coming down with the smoke.
KP has ult in 10 seconds. He has a full drum coming out. This is not going to look good for GeekFam.
Start the fire onto Cuckoo. Make sure there's no potential of swaps. So the shine burns down the defense to start things off. Now Raven on the retreat, hunting missile heading his way. TNC trying to chase this down. They will get underneath the tower though, and TNC aren't going to go any further. K is also here at the side, Doom at the ready. Start coming into the jungle, maybe see if he catches anyone on the way back out, but TNC not going to be heading into the path of this Doom, so K won't find anything.
I think they have to be a little careful how they make those type of rotations. I think you look at TNC draft and like there's no way that we can take a head-on fight unless we just get someone out of the fight preemptively with a duel or with a curse and they just die beforehand or swap out of position. Head-on fights when you have this Morphling and the Doom that has this type of game, you know, that's a big pick off there for them, as Armo will be slowed down quite a bit with the stats at least, and he still has a medallion, and they're still getting all the farm in the world. Next item choice, I was about to save this for KP, waiting to see what he queued up, but I expected this one, the Blink Dagger. Instantly Blink silencing on top of the Morphling. I mean, he's actually getting pretty close as he switches. He's on BKB, just kidding. I like the Blink a little bit more, to be honest, this game, but I think he probably feels like he has to act as that frontliner so that the Kunkka can get the spells off anyway.
Coming across the X-Mark straight into the arrow. Tara onto Cuckoo as Cuckoo will be able to swap to save Whitemon from the full combo. Swap back as well. Cuckoo trying to set up on the Tims, but Tim still has leaps available. As he'll be able to get himself away.
Good protection of the triangle for the time being. The KP now in phase, but the strength force started. They're in a sentry.
Yeah, they can't finish this off anymore with Raven being quick with the reaction there. Still with the Moonlight. They had the chance to catch someone around mid. Armel has boat back online. GeekFam are holding themselves pretty tight as a unit, making sure that they're not allowed to get caught out. Bottom lane being pushed in by KP.
That was really good.
Find anything with this night time.
Yeah. Really good read there by Raven. I actually think the sentry didn't catch on the right side, but I think it caught somebody on the left side, and he just was like, all right, I'm just too afraid to sit on this side, not strength morphing. With a full stick and a mech right behind.
Let's see if K goes for it. He's going to try. Jumps in. Missing the lead. Holding on to Doom. Now he drops it. He's going to drop the Doom down. The curse as well. On Gabby. A little bit of an awkward combo there. There wasn't even anyone really around to hit him. They're still bringing Gabby down, but Archie's got the mech, as you said. Gyro's just flinching basically. They're ready to turn back into the fight. The call out coming down onto Carl. The Doom is dead. Missile flies over towards Whitemon. TNC going to be able to find a few of them. And Cuckoo swapped himself into his own death there, it felt like. 3 dead. It's 11-2. The tower's down in the mid lane. And it seems like every time they use the Doom, they just sort of metaphorically doom themselves, GeekFam.
Okay, they don't have much vision on the map. It's been pretty much taken out all by TNC in this game. But you have to know that the IO is just sitting behind Gyro. Like, there's so many different plays that TNC has there that even if he does get doomed, they could even just relocate him out and then reset the fight entirely, or they do exactly what they do there, just break people. Very bizarre GeekFam. They try to make him like the KP, but they're dying.
He died in the same spot. Respawn gets back. He's got once more. They're crumbling here, GeekFam. They're not losing any sort of sense of teamwork. It's falling apart. So Zephyr extra potential with that curse. I'm gonna have to see if they're gonna be a little more careful with the usage of this. Yeah, top Kate's gonna be found here as KP just pops. Dark attention immediately gets on top of him. They're moving in with Gabby and March, so they'll have enough damage here for sure. Kay's trying to run, but a homing missile's heading his way. No way he can play his way out of this one. As TNC clean up the mid-doom once again. The kills just continue for TNC. Quick catch onto Zephyr. And the Wyvern comes down to a crashing end. Cuckoo's out as well. This is a rough one for GeekFam. A very rough one indeed. Their core's having a very tough time. You know, apart from Raven. You know, Raven he's just in his own little land right now. He's just trying to look away from it all, looking at keeping his eyes averted from all this horrendous action that GeekFam's been involved in. And, you know, his mid lane and mid doom is 0-5-1. His off lane is 0-6-1. Not the greatest of KDAs. So I wouldn't be surprised if Raven's just muted his teammates and he's just hitting the creeps right now.
Yeah, maybe Raven just doesn't know what to do. He's like, hey guys, I am 0-0-1. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Raven just getting completely ran at. TNC, I don't see this game getting any easier for GeekFam either, because now TNC, they have all the items that they need that we said. Like, you know, they've got the Vessel, they've got the Blink, they've got this mech backup. They have so many different ways just to counter GeekFam's lineup at the moment, and yeah, GeekFam just a long time, so. This game, not so much, but can't really blame him entirely. I think they just have a really tough matchup in this one. Now they're starting to run around with Raven. He's getting close to the E-Blade, which one thing that can sometimes turn if they can get the pick off for it. TNC again for the aggression.
drums there, got extra bit of punch, but it isn't quite enough to take him out. Back towards mid. Gabby and March will pick up Whitemon out alone. TNC, Armel and KP coming over to join them.
That's going to be really strong.
Yeah, between sort of that and the mech, that's a lot of burst to provide for himself and whoever he's tethered up with.
It's 35% extra on top of the tether thing too, so it's not just the fact that he can, you know, use it on other people, but it's even crashes tether.
They get the jump in. I'm going to be able to run up there with Eve. Take down one. K's going to move over towards the eye. Going to drop the two down onto March. March goes down in the mud, hit the mud bug, but it won't save him. March goes down. He managed to bring him on. He's away out of the Jar's hands. Gabby's going to be back for round three. Let's see if he can turn this one around. Torrent out. But the curse is there. Push this high. Gabby. He's got those teammates. He's holding on. They kill off the Jar. March still alive. This was the plan all along. Raven said, I don't care what the rest of the team does for the first 25 minutes. I'm going to be able to carry this one. And he's doing it. He's just got himself an ultra kill.
Look at his damage he's in the fight. 9,000. He had a DD rune. They end up catching the Eye on the front line. He turns into the Gyra with a DD and just punches out everybody with all the auras behind him. Oh my god.
This is the Raven Morphling, and this is the Raven Protector. I mean, maybe that's sort of how the drafting went, you know, as sort of Carl was like, hey Raven, can I play Green and go feed? Raven's like, sure dude, I got you, I'll play Morph. And then Cuckoo's like, hey, can I play Benji go feed? And Raven's like, yeah man, you go for it.
Wow. 8k gold swing, right? Just about.
Cuckoo, now just sort of sticking with the agenda. Another death for him. Raven's like, keep it up, Cuckoo. All part of the plan. Because Raven now has had the space to finish off his BKB. So he's going to be coming into the next fight with BKB, Manto, E-Blade.
Going up for that Satanic next. Amazing item versus that Io Gyro. Prevent a bit of that healing. Also that nice slow versus the ranged heroes. It's better. Now Tim's again. The one who keeps getting jumped on first.
We've got a couple more leaps left. E-Blade's coming out. Pots the Moonlight Shadow. Whitemon's got a sentry. Drops it down. Got the range to the Fire Blast, and Raven will claim another life.
Dire's tough tower be under attack.
We'll see where they head next as TNC. Got to be so careful when they turn up to the pushes that the Raven's involved in.
Yeah, they're getting really close to double BKB though on the Alright, is it double or triple BKB? Getting pretty close to triple BKB on the cores of TNC, so they are going to have some insane teamfight that does come out soon too. Well, they already do have insane teamfight, but they're going to have a lot easier access to just jump into the backlines and have no worries. They're trying to look for Raven. That's probably what they're going to look for after they just got their... After they just got pretty skinny after that last fight. Still should feel pretty confident though, because they still are quite a bit stronger. It is just mostly Raven, the one that's going to be doing all that, that's all buffed up. So if they can actually just take him out of the fight quickly, they're still very strong on TNC.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, you know, it's going to be hard, because how do they stop Raven from using his BKB? You know, they can try and get the chain stun, the torrent, the arrow and everything, but Cuckoo is going to be able to break that with a swap. You know, very unlikely that Raven just dies immediately to this combo without having any opportunity to react.
Or has a Shadow Blade finished, but if he can just get into the backline as this Night Stalker onto the Wyvern, they completely crush the team fight that GeekFam does have, so they're trying to get the flank.
Radiant's middle tower be under attack.
Let's see. This long wrap around TNC. They're gonna find out they go straight away to the dark section and move in, looking for the back line. Jake gets from the BKB on the out from there. Comes across there. He's got that flash ready to go. So the gap is reading all the power. The next thing will buy. Gotta be careful. There's a post box coming in to save him. They've already killed off GeekFam. They'll finish off Cuckoo through the BKB. It's good reactions here from TNC. They've even got to capture a further kill on Decay. X-Marks there from Armel to find themselves a full TNC back on top with this solid team fight performance. March did have to buy back, but still absolutely worth it. Only Raven staying alive there this time around, just unable to get Raven in a position to do the damage required. Both came out, Gabby lives through the doom, and suddenly did sort of everything to get thrown into that Gyro. and clean up.
And just like I was talking about, the IO had 5 hours. He knows, March knows exactly what he needs to do in this in the game. Like, he's gonna get focus fired so hard in the fight that just say buyback, come back in. You can wait for the second kill. Gabby. Also, KP, flawless execution by him in that fight. Jumps directly over the entire team onto the backline, onto Zephyr with Armel. They kill the Wyvern before he gets a single spell off. So they pretty much prevented a majority of that team fight. Gabby gets focused really hard, but they already lost most of their numbers, so perfect execution.
Necessary that he has to take that risk in this game?
The thing is, if it's just Morphling in fights, right? Like, if he just, they can just wipe the rest of the 4, and then it's just a Morphling alone. I can see why it can be so good in this game for sure. And this is, look at his positioning. Armel, he's scouting all of them. They see Raven.
Yep, they're going to try and set things up as JP jumps in with the silence. Coming down, and indeed with that setup, they can move over to Raven. He's got the BKB. Full wave form away. Also turning into the Night Stalker here. Get ahead, can move at speed to run rings off as he will manage to escape into the safety of K and Whitemon's arms. And get Raven out of there, but again, it's another 2 quick kills for TNC. GeekFam not able to fight back.
That was scary for a second. I saw Raven get clipped by an arrow. I thought maybe they'd have follow-up. I almost want to say that someone on TNC should go to Sheepstick, because they're still limited on their disables for this Morphling, and nobody's really, I mean, everyone's pretty close to it, but I feel like even like Armel, anyone going for it would be amazing.
Yeah,
it's just Raven at this point. He's the only problem that they're having in the game.
Yeah, because I can see maybe a bit in item that Tims could go for. You know, sure, as you say, not close to it, but he's got 1800, and I mean, you know, what else do you really need from Tims in this position as a Marauder?
Yeah, I mean, they're still like, you know, cruise control a little bit over the game. It's still the fear of this Raven that can potentially just turn a fight if he gets a good shift. They get a DD rune, and they are still positioned
On top of the Shivas, so excellent backup. And as we said, with the heroes alone, they have great ways to buff this morph. Now, so many ways that Raven's going to be very strong in these fights, and the question just is, you know, who do you favor more in these fights? The Raven morph or the Gabby Gyro at this point with the team that both of them have around them?
this position. So it's really so much about how they catch, because Zephyr getting caught 2 times in the last fights has been so crucial that they just can't even turn to look for fighting back. And they gotta watch out who's chilling in the front line. Gabby shows.
Raven, he's going to commit on the front lines. He's moving towards March. He's gone. He's hit the deck. He dies straight away. Also finding the IO and KP. They just got 3 of them. They just take him out immediately. And of course, he didn't unlock the Rapier, so Rapier is still safe. And I mean, you can see why he's not unlocking the Rapier. I guess he's only going to unlock it when they're actually taking a fight on the high ground, because as we've seen just there, fights outside of the base, GeekFam absolutely will still crush them with the power that Raven has.
And Raven just found a DD. Also, in that fight, did you see what happened? So, Raven turned into the gyro immediately, put a missile on it, and then it was like swapped. He easily stunned it into the missile. So then he just fired. It was actually really well executed by them. Not sure if it was 100% done on purpose, but it was perfect.
I still like obviously the homing missile heading the way of Gabby, and you know, as you said, you'd expect him to be able to put the BKB in time, but yeah, that whistle from Cuckoo definitely would have tripped him up. He was not ready to react that quickly.
And their base is just shredded. They don't want to waste buybacks, and all right, 9K advantage for GeekFam up of 1 fight now. Just